I'm a professional PC builder, and people think that to do that, you just need a screwdriver and some parts to build. It is true until something goes wrong, and there are also ways to make your life a lot easier, especially if you're going to be doing this as a profession. So welcome back at Troubleshooting PSUs, and here we are today with 5 things which you absolutely need if you're going to be a PC builder. Now we'll cover from very hardware, physical things, all the way to things which can actually get you more revenue as a professional, like a good data recovery software, which we'll cover later. And also thanks Recoverit for sponsoring this video. Now the first thing you're gonna need is some good electric screwdrivers with a longer tip. This is probably the single most important item in this collection, because what happens is you can always get to things inside a build. You can always get to even the most remote screw, but sometimes you have to take off half a build to get there, especially if we are dealing with a mini ITX PC. However, one of these will allow you to reach it without dismounting everything, and will also make your job a lot faster. Now, you don't have to overspend on these. If you want a premium product, I recommend the Hotto products on Amazon. I will leave the link to it down below, but you can realistically buy a cheap one off AliExpress, and these are actually the ones I use every day, and I will leave some links down below for these as well. Also, the amount of time you're gonna save by using one of these is gonna be insane if you build 10 PCs per week. Second thing, and I can't put link for this ones, but that's spare hardware for troubleshooting. So over time, you're gonna develop some kind of experience. And the easiest thing is, if your mind is telling you it's the GPU, just have a no extra PCIe connector GPU ready to be slotted in. Same goes for RAM, even nowadays where this thing is pretty expensive. And of course, a spare cooler, spare power supply. Spare power supply should be the first thing you try in general when troubleshooting, but also if you build a brand new PC and it is not turning on. You need extra hardware. Now, I don't recommend you go out there and spend a bunch of money on brand new hardware. I recommend that over time, by collecting cheap stuff which maybe you upgrade or stuff your clients ask you to throw away, you maybe put aside a GT710 like this for testing, some DDR4, some DDR5, and just a few stock coolers which you can just drop on top of the CPU to prevent the CPU from exploding. I recommend you go out there and buy a good power supply for testing though, because you want to be 100% sure your power supply always works, and I recommend you buy one with as many cables as possible so it's going to work on every single computer you use. An extra 1000 watt PSU is always a good investment. When I'm talking about extra hardware, I also mean a good SSD with Windows pre-installed on it, with a working OS. So you can just plug this in, maybe even with a USB adapter so it's faster, and you can just be sure if the issue is software. Talking about the OS, let's move in about another very important thing to have ready software-wise, and that is troubleshooting USB keys. Now this goes from a very simple bench USB key where you put all your software in it, testing software, so you don't have to re-download it every time. This saves a bunch of time. But I'm also talking about a fast Windows install USB made with Rufus, which maybe I'll make a video dedicated on how you can make a professional one for deploying multiple OS at the same time. Then you probably want various versions of Windows, one with Windows 10 maybe if you're also doing upgrades for clients. And then you maybe also want a bootable unit with some kind of troubleshooting software. For example, you can troubleshoot broken GPUs, you can troubleshoot basically everything with the right Linux piece of software into a USB key. You also want a 2.0 USB drive to update older BIOSes. Very, very important. Now, the thing number 4 may surprise you, and that is the most boring set of mouse and keyboard you can find. Maybe even a PS2 keyboard, if you can still find one. Now, why that is because very often with hardware which has a little bit of issues here and there, but especially if you're dealing with older hardware or fixing stuff with clients, fancy wireless or complicated USB devices actually mess with the boot process of your PC. And they won't mess with it if your PC is working fine. But if your PC has any kind of issues, you can be sure that a fancy USB peripheral will get in the way of the boot order. So you always want to unplug all peripherals and just have a very plain looking USB 2.0 or PS2 keyboard to plug in so you don't get the no keyboard option. And very often this alone is going to solve most of your problems with boot or with broken hardware. These, seriously, just buy them on Amazon for 10 to 15 bucks. You're going to be fine. Now, honorable mention, thermal paste. You will never have enough always buy more, you will always need more. And also, again, you'd be surprised by how much stuff you fix by just putting some good paste in it. Even a slightly damaged, in terms of voltage, CPU or GPU, if you put some fresh paste, clean it up, it's gonna work fine. My pick currently is the MX7, just came out. I will have a full review video out very soon. And it's cheap, guys. Just buy a bunch if you're a PC builder. Now the last one, and honestly, probably the most important from a revenue standpoint if you're doing this professionally, and that is a good data recovery software. Now, why am I saying that? Well, because listen, we are working with hardware where people have data on, and they are gonna eventually lose some data, or even worse, you may lose their data. It happens, especially if you're using automated USB drives, or if you're just listening to clients, which will tell you, yes, go ahead, format the drive, but then it turns out they had a very important document in it. You will find yourself having to recover data in some capacity. And now nowadays, you no longer have to do it like back in the day with some command prompt interface. And I actually have a very good piece of software which is sponsoring today's video, which I recommend, and that is Wondershare Recoverit. Now, I already made a dedicated video about how it works, so I won't repeat everything here. But the important part is why Recoverit V14 works so well. It is AI-powered, and that's what actually matters. It has AI-powered device recognitions, which automatically understands what you're connecting to it. It will differentiate between an internal SSD, external HDD, NVMe, USB stick, or even a corrupted SD card from a camera. Based on the device, it will then automatically run a faster and more optimized scan instead of treating every drive the same. This is going to save you a lot of time. The actual recovery will also be fully automated, so literally you don't have to do anything. But the reason why this still works for you is you are the tech guy. You're dealing with people that genuinely understand very little about tech, and even if they do understand something about it, they don't want to spend time doing it themselves. And also Recoverit is a paid software, so they'd have to buy it. But if you buy it for yourself, you can then use it for various people and capitalize on the fact that you're their guy, they're already paying you. And if you do a good job, they will willingly pay you extra for an extra service, like you recovering some important data, or maybe they will mention to you they lost some data. You can be like, hey, we also offer a recovery service, and charge them. With literally 2 or 3 jobs, you can get back the price of an annual subscription to Recoverit. And since you also get real-time previews, you will immediately know if the files are actually there, because the worst thing is if you're doing data recovery and you can't understand properly if the files are there fragmented or if they're just not there. Recoverit will also literally reconstruct damaged data and video, surprisingly. This is actually something that I was very skeptical about, but I tested it out. And I've done probably 20, 30 recoveries using it, and it's amazing. That's AI-enhanced repair, and basically it will reconstruct the videos frame by frame. This is insane if an SD card fails mid-recording. And yeah, this actually happened to me as well a few times. From a business point of view, literally software services have the highest ROI you can have as a PC builder. Even if you put together a small shop, you could have a dedicated person doing this, and it's very lucrative. Now, if you want a step-by-step tutorial on how to use it, I will link the video down below. But the reason why I thought this was such a big thing to talk about is literally, I've been earning quite a bit lately just by doing data recovery, and it's a big part of PC building. Because by building computers for people, you earn their trust. You put together a relationship, and they're going to ask you for other services. Now, it's also important to know when to decline their requests, because people will often ask me to clean their computers from viruses, or to do other small tasks which simply take too much time because they can't be automated. And so it's important you decline in order to not waste time. But if you can actually offer a service which takes you very little time, and you can offer it as an extra, definitely do it. So yeah, those are the 5 most important things you need to be a PC builder. I could also cover like good setup, which you may want if you want to actually put together a small studio or a small space to do this. I actually started as a teenager with just a simple desk, and I had it all organized to have everything in it. So if you guys want to see that as well, please let me know down below. Drop a like and subscribe, and I will make that happen for you guys. Also, please, it's very important for me. If you guys have something else which you would recommend to me or to other people, drop a comment down below, because maybe I'm forgetting something, or maybe there's something which for you is more important than what I mentioned. Thanks again to Wondershare Recoverit for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. As you know, I try not to take sponsorships from brands of components I use in order to be as honest as possible with you guys. And I hope to see you guys in another video. Take care. Bye bye.